Salvete. So we done first declension, second declension, third, and of most verbs in most nouns in Latin, these are the declensions that most nouns follow. The majority, I'm thinking like 90%, are probably a first, second, or a third declension noun. Now, there are fourth declension nouns and fifth declension nouns, but there's a lot fewer of them, and so that's why we don't always talk about these as much. But some of the nouns that are fourth and fifth declension nouns are really important nouns, like manus, hand, is a fourth declension noun, portus, port, or harbor is a fourth declension noun. Those are pretty important words. For fifth declension, thing, res, that's a fifth declension, dies, day, that's a fifth declension. So there's a few nouns out there that are pretty high frequency nouns that are in those declensions, so it's good to know them. And you're going to encounter them a lot in Virgil and Caesar. So we're going to do portus for our fourth declension noun. So if you looked at this in the dictionary, it's going to be portus. And notice that's a short U, and then the genitive ending of it, it's going to be portus with a long U, and this is the distinguishing part that shows you what declension it is. So remember, if it's first declension, it ends in an I, A-E. If it's second declension, it ends in the letter I, the genitive. If it's third, it's an IS. And if it's fourth, it's a US, a long US. And portus is, I'm trying to remember, it's masculine. And it means a harbor or a port. And our nominative is that form, portus. And then the nominative plural is just a long U. It's portus. So they look really similar, and on the AP they don't give you these long marks, so sometimes you have to know that a us could be a plural if it's a fourth declension noun. It's kind of helpful to know if it's a fourth declension noun sometimes. The genitive is like up here, it's portus with a long U, and you might notice that's the same as the plural. And then our genitive plural is really similar to the third declension. It's just portuum, okay, two U's, kind of funny looking. And then the dative is portui. Look kind of familiar here? That's a long I. See, it's just like third declension, same. There's a lot of similarities between third and fourth, you're going to see. And then if you're plural, it's going to be portibus. And that's also the same as third declension. Okay. Accusative is portum, which actually looks a lot, is the same as, second declension. The um, remember all accusative singulars end in an m. That's a real nice thing, unless it's neuter, which we'll talk about in another podcast. And then the accusative here for the plural is portus, so you see that the nominative and the accusative are the same, kind of like in third declension, the nominative and the accusative are the same, so it follows a similar principle. And then ablative is going to be portu with a long U. Notice that all ablative singulars end in a vowel, like quella, amico, leone, and portu, really common, to just end in a vowel for the ablative singular. And then, as I've told you before, dative plurals and ablative plurals are always the same, so it's going to be portibus. And ibus was the same as the third declension. So when we're going through our endings here, you got us and us. You got us for the genitive and uum. You got ui, just like third, except with that U in there, because the U is the distinguishing letter of the fourth declension. Ibus, just like third. And us, these are the same. And then long vowel, or just vowel ending for ablative, and then ibus, which is the same as that. So that's fourth declension. Remember another really important one that's a fourth declension is manus, which is hand. So, when you say plural hands, it's just manus. You don't say manos, like as if it was this. It's manus. So if I say raise your hands, I say tolite manus, not tolite manos. Okay? And there's some other words that are pretty important that are fourth declension too. And that's it.